Welcome to the Siquijor experience, where I'll take you around this amazing island and the many places to see and do. I took a ferry from Dumaguete and I went to Siquijor, and it's only about a 20-minute ride across the ocean there. This is the ocean jet line that I used, and very easy. The waters are relatively calm, usually most of the time in this area between Negros Island, where Dumaguete is, and across the channel to Siquijor. It's quite close. It's kind of a fun little, day trip to do. You can go and spend the night if you want, but it's very doable in a day. In this case, I actually circumnavigated the island, meaning took a circle all the way around the island, and did that part as far as like drive time in about 3 or 4 hours. This was the scooter that I rented from one of the port security guys when I was over there. So when I came out of port security and I was looking for a scooter to rent, one of the actual guards said, "Hey, this is my motorcycle, and I'll rent it to you for," it was like 350 pesos or like $7 a day. This is Palatin Beach.
Hello. Hello. Welcome to the beach. Thank you. Maya Puntag. Subscribe to your channel. Thank you. It's called Island Expats.
Island
Expats.
Expass?
Yeah. Island Expats.
Island Expass.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's me. Island Expat.
Yeah. Welcome.
This is Peloton Beach?
Yeah, this is the small Paliton Beach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's good for sunset.
Yeah.
This is the
Very
sunset there.
good for sunset.
There's Paliton Beach also there. You're gonna pass by the private property and you walk over there. There's the big Paliton. Where's the human drone, the swing?
Oh, really?
Yeah, the swing and sand castle, and you can see a lot of more things there.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, Island Expass.
Island Expat.
Yeah, I'm gonna subscribe.
Just found a friend along the way here at Peloton Beach. Well, good morning. Maayo buntag. Don't speak cow, so. Beautiful area. Okay, so I'm just coming into the private beach area right here at Peloton Beach. Classic palm tree. Actually, that's been through a few typhoons. Anyway, it's like a white sand beach. We're looking back at Negros, and then I think off in the distance we're probably seeing Apple Island off the downwind. So we're kind of looking towards Dumaguete to the far right, and then the Kong downwind, Sempagita. Kind of in that order. Yeah, it's definitely Apple Island. That's where the sea turtles are. Looks like there might be a little of a reef out there. It's one thing I haven't found much in the Philippines is surf. But other than sure go. And that's fine and everything, but it gets big and hairy. So I've surfed it a couple of times. I like the vibe Surigao. It's one of my favorite places in the entire Philippines. There's a lot of like resort type restaurants, but there's no organized resort. There's no U.S. chain, Marriott, Hyatt, Hilton. Doesn't exist. It's all just locals. A lot of them are foreigners from Europe. They got in there 10 years ago or more. And a lot of restaurants. Just a cool vibe. This is super beautiful though. So we'll keep walking through here. This is Peloton Beach. Been a week now on this trip in the Philippines. Started off in Cebu City. People are super friendly there. IT Park downtown. Mandaue City, then all the way south of on Cebu to Oslab, where the whale sharks are, and then just past that to Santander. Stayed at a really nice small resort called the Yamoha Dive Resort. It's only got 6 rooms, but this couple built it 10 years ago as kind of their retirement program, and they have an incredibly good spot. And it's just, you're looking at Negros and you look like you're in Polynesia or something. So anyway, this is the private part of Peloton Island, or Peloton Beach. Looks like we got a swing here. It's quite the swing. Here's some sea urchins that they recently caught and trying to sell it, cracking open for us, along with, here's the knife that they used, and then they clean it out. It's supposed to be like a delicacy in the Philippines. This was a nice little sandcastle that they put together. I thought that was pretty cool. Somebody did a really nice job. And of course, somebody wants to get their picture taken perfect. And then here's the beach area, the little shops that are opened up selling shirts and whatever kind of tourist trinkets and things. Peloton Beach is about 10 kilometers from the Siquijor Pier, and when I rented my scooter, it took me probably about 20 minutes to get there. Hiya, Buntag. Sea urchin, huh?
You want to try?
No. You want to?
No.
Hello. Hiya, Buntag. What do you have here?
This. Food.
Yeah, food.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want?
Prawns?
Yes. Pasayan.
Pasayan.
Yes. And this one squid nukos.
Oh, pick up the squid.
Yes. This one.
Maayo.
Yes.
Mm.
If you want eat here, I make it grilled
Okay.
fish, and we have salwaki.
Mm. Here's the main kind of entrance to the Peloton Beach. There's a couple different places that you can go to get to it, to access it. I came kind of through the main parking lot, and then here are the main fishing boats that they use here in the Philippines. One thing I was going to mention, that when you arrive at the Siquijor Pier, and if you rent a scooter or something like that, make sure when you come up to the main road, there's a church that you're going to pass, which is actually the opening scene for this video. And you're going to go past the church and up the hill. And when you come to the main highway, there's a really large Jollibee's. So you want to make sure that you notice that landmark, because that's going to begin your day, basically. Whether you go, I would recommend going to the right. That's the flow of this video. So I'm basically going in order. So when I came up to the highway from the Siquijor Pier and came up to the Jollibee's, I turned right on the main highway and then followed in sequence. So what you're going to see in this video is everything that happened in sequence along the way. So the first place that I went to was this Peloton Beach. And what a gorgeous location. Here I've got the drone up in the air, trying to give you a look, a little bit of what the beach looks like. A little further out, you can see some of these reefs. Still a very calm area overall. And most of the Philippines is like that. There's only a couple places you can even surf, really. I guess in Mindanao would be Matty Beach, Siargao Island, which would be considered north of Mindanao. And then Dinigat Islands right there is the next place, which is known for the surfing throughout the Philippines. And then on Luzon, which is the main province where Manila is, if you go to about 4 hours, 5 hours to the north, on your way up to Baguio up in the mountains, and then go to the coast about 90 minutes, and you'll come to, it looks like it's pronounced La Union, but it's actually La Union. And there's a surf break there. But there are some others throughout the Philippines, some up in the Leyte area. From what I've seen as far as quality of surf, it's a little bit harder to find outside of some of those main areas. And I did want to mention that when I circled the island, it took me all day. So I arrived on the 8 a.m. ferry. It left at about 7:20 or so from Dumaguete and arrived by 8 o'clock over here in Siquijor. And because I'm stopping and shooting these different locations, it did take me the entire day until the 6 p.m. ferry in order to get all these stops in and to shoot it all. If I were just to drive the island nonstop, which I don't think you really probably would do, you're going to probably stop at different places. But if I were to go nonstop, I think you'd be done, probably 3 hours. So maybe something along that 3 to 4 hours. Nice drive, no traffic, very different than a lot of the other places in the Philippines. As you take a look here, overlooking the entire island, it's, jungle in the middle and just this typical kind of what you would see from a vegetation standpoint in the Philippines. But that's one nice thing about it is that the road was wide open. The only little traffic at all was near the kind of downtown Siquijor by the pier area near the Jollibees, and it wasn't much at all. And then once you take off through the rest of the island, there's just no traffic. And some of these beaches are just gorgeous. This Palatine Beach, it looked like something out of some magazine. This was kind of fun. There's this dad and his child were playing in the water, and I took the drone over and took a look and just said hi, and they were waving up to the drone. They were good sports about it. People react pretty positively to the drones in the Philippines. I don't think you see a lot of that there, where in the U.S., it's like people try to avoid it. So that's where I'm getting all of these shots here that are, more aerial type shots as I'm kind of taking a look at these shots going along here on Palatine Beach. The swing was kind of neat. We had different people swinging back and forth. Everyone trying to get their pictures, but this is pretty much what Palatine Beach looks like. Now we've got a couple of people swimming. Looks like they're trying to hold on to something there in their hands. So sometimes they dive for sea urchins. We usually see that first thing in the morning. And then sometimes you'll see them out there at night with flashlights going after certain fish. Now we're looking across to Negros. So that's actually Negros Island, or the far left there would be Dumaguete. So Dumaguete is pretty much on the far south side of the island, say left side. This is Apo Island. So that's off of like the Dawan Bakong area, which is another 20, 25 minutes from Dumaguete. All right, well, this was a really neat experience. So this is a high school here in Tambasan, which is part of the San Juan area, the next city that I ran into after leaving Palatine Beach. And it was just an incredible experience because you've got a ton of kids here and they're all practicing. And there's one teacher leading the entire charge, and he was incredibly passionate about it. And I got out my camera after watching for a while, and I just wanted to kind of capture how he manages. This is a big group of kids. There's got to be 50, 60 kids or more. And he's trying to keep them all in sync. And if you notice, there's no music out. So everyone's had to learn their part. And then you'll see in a minute, he wants to make sure that the drummers at the core are getting it right. So he's watching them right now. And he's going to join in just a minute. But he's super passionate. It was really, really cool. All it takes is to have some type of teacher really care about something. And then that can change the trajectory of a kid's life. And, you know, in a lot of the areas in the Philippines, it's pretty impoverished, so they don't get a lot of exposure. So something like this, a high school band, might be a pretty meaningful thing that happens for them in their young lives. But I really like this guy. He kind of gave me the nod to shoot. You know, in the U.S., you would never do this, right? You walk up to a high school, they don't know you. You pull out your camera, start shooting. Yeah, they'll probably call the police on you. This guy, he was like all for it. And there's just some real neat moments as we kind of go through this that you're going to see that he kind of captures his passion. The kids obviously respect him. I mean, no one's giving him a single attitude. They all watch him. They all listen. It's interesting because later while I was there, it looked to me like he used a couple of the seniors, and then they were in charge of different areas. Now watch what he does here. He takes away the sticks, starts drumming before the drummer, as an example of what he wants them to do. Now just ask yourself honestly, how many people jump in and do that care that much about the kids they're training to be that vested? I mean, they should. I wish they would all do it, but I'm just telling you, this guy's special. I would be real curious to know what his training is too. So he's even smiling at the camera. This guy's a good guy. There were parents here watching too. They were all kind of watching to see what I'm doing. I'm the only one that's trying to shoot them on the camera. I just love watching him play with the kids. But he doesn't mind the camera. He's totally cool about it. He didn't even ask me what I was going to do with the footage. So I need to take a link from this and make sure I send it to the school there and then, put it to the band director, see if I can figure that out. I gotta say, this was one of the highlights of my entire trip. I was in the Philippines for several weeks on this one shooting. And basically I'd wake up at 4:30 in the morning because it's so hot over there. And I'd be shooting as soon as the sunrise, or some days even before that. We could get the drone up in the air. And in this case, I was actually riding the scooter past a motorcycle. I never intended to stop here. But I heard them playing and it was coming across so loud. I'm like, there's something going on here. And it just seemed organized to me, just by my ear driving by. Anyway, it was super special. From there, I went into the main part of San Juan, the little city after Peloton Beach, and I came across this kind of swimming hole. It's almost like the end of a river or something. And then, it's all encased here in, concrete, and the kids are all playing. All the families are playing. This one kid's shoes are floating out in the middle. I think the mom's going to make him go get them in a minute. There he goes. There's one, and there's two. And now he's going to go back to shore. But it's always warm in the Philippines, right? So that was kind of my point earlier, why I shoot early in the morning. I shoot from a little bit before sunrise, half an hour before sunrise, till about 9:30. And then the sun is so strong that if I can't find a shady spot to shoot, I got to get out of the sun and then come back out about a half an hour before sunset and then shoot again. That's how my days kind of consisted in the Philippines for the couple of weeks I was there on this trip, where I went to the Visayas, and I thought it'd be fun to focus on the central islands of the Philippines. A lot of beauty there, lots of things to see, beautiful beaches, jungle, all kinds of stuff. This guy just did a little flip for us, and then of course I turned around and the teenagers were there, and they're flying in from every direction. You're 14 to 16, you're indestructible. They were having a lot of fun. And once they saw that I was shooting, put on a little show for us here. Look at this guy. Funny thing, they're all doing, look at that guy. They're all doing some sort of a dive. There are other things you could do. I was a good cannonballer back in my day. All right, from there I went on to the bolete tree, which has been around for 400 years. And basically, in front of the tree is this water area with these pools of water and these fish. And then what you do is you put your feet in the water, and then the fish come up, and then they clean your feet, and it kind of tickles, and it's kind of fun to watch. Some of the fish were quite large. Look like this one that's, he was on his foot. It's like, bigger than 12 inches or something. It kind of tickles, so sometimes the boys are laughing and all that. But I was sitting there thinking, when I was looking at this tree and these ponds, 400 years. Well, let's go back 400 years ago. That's before the U.S. even existed as a nation. Here's the tree and what it looks like. Here's what a 400-year-old tree looks like in the Philippines. Everyone's taking their pictures. It's kind of a fun area. There's a good view of the tree. Kind of surprised they don't protect the root system a little bit more, that they actually have got concrete around even the outside of the roots. I would have kind of left that open, I would have thought. Here's a good look at the fish swimming across. And then these boys' feet. I know the Japanese do this as a form of some type of spa treatment, to have the fish clean your feet. I saw it once in Mexico, Cancun, at a spa there. But there it was more like a fish tank. It's some boy on his feet in. I first walked in and never seen that before, kind of a double take on that. Now this fish is going to come up and say hello to me here. Looks like he's got a friend. Oh, there he is. We got the talking fish. I don't know what he's saying, but probably magananga maga, good morning in Tagalog or something. Looks like he needs some air or something. That's funny. These boys seem to enjoy this. Okay, that's going to do it for part 1 on exploring Siquijor. So this video doesn't get too long. I'm going to break it into 2 pieces. And so we'll stop here for today and then look for part 2 of the Siquijor experience, exploring Siquijor and all that it has to offer, because it's a very amazing place.